Hi everyone, my name is Ben Stocks. For this webinar we're discussing eDiscovery. Our eDiscovery solution is very robust and you can do quite a bunch of things with it. So while you're watching this demonstration, keep an open mind and put your creative caps on and come up with some solutions that you might use eDiscovery for. The first thing you're going to have to do to set up Discovery is set up a couple of different document types. To do this, we're going to go to System Administration, Code Tables, JDA Applications and Documents, and then Documents. I've already set up my couple of document types. I have this Discovery and Discovery Packet. Now when you're setting these up, you have to remember a couple of things. The first thing is that the document lock type, the fourth column over, these two document types have to be a 1, always lock read only. When you're setting up what you want to be in a Discovery packet, make sure that type is other, and you can name it whatever you want. I just named my Discovery for demonstration purposes. And then when you actually have a Discovery packet created, make sure you give it a type of 5. So the most important thing is to make sure that it's an always locked document. Then when you're creating what you want to go into your Discovery packet, make it a type of 0 or other. And what you want the Discovery packet to be named, go ahead and make that a type of 5. So now that we have that set up, we can go to a case and actually start creating Discovery packets. So I already have this case open right here. It's the Luke Skywalker case. And I have 3 documents in my filing cabinet. So they're all unknown documents right now, the document type. I just dragged and dropped these from my desktop. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change all these document types to Discovery. So I'm just going to go through here, change all these to Discovery, and save. Now that they're all Discovery types, I can go and make my Discovery packet. To do this, you have to switch views. So over here on the left-hand side of my screen, you see the views. We're just going to come in here to Views and click on this Discovery packet. You cannot create Discovery packets from your normal case view. You have to switch views to this Discovery packet view. And now we're in our Discovery packet view. Just like anywhere else in JusticeWeb, to start a Discovery packet, we're going to hit the green plus sign. Now the document type, if you notice, is our Discovery packet. That document type that we put is a type of 5, and that's why we have to have one of those. So Discovery title, you can name this whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Luke Skywalker's Discovery. The request types we have is Discovery and Pay Discovery. I'm going to leave this blank for right now, and I'm going to add another one. Before I do that though, it's important to come down here to File Selection, add a line, and then put what you want in this Discovery packet. So I'm going to do the Koala and White Lighthouse JPEGs. And I'm going to come up to the top and add another Discovery packet. And we're going to name this one Luke Skywalker's Discovery Paid, or Pay. And I'm going to give this a request type of Pay Discovery. Once again, before you go any farther, come down here. I'm going to do the penguins in this one. But if you notice up here at the top, we have a compression type. We can encrypt these Discovery packets, so they do have to put a key in to open those. For this demonstration, I'm not going to do that, but we do have quite a few different types of encryption that you can do. In order to get the Discovery packets to show up on JusticeWeb, we need to give it an activation date. So I'm just going to give it today's date. And then you can also set an expiration date, so that if the defense attorney or whoever this is going out to hasn't picked up their Discovery packet by this date, it's going to automatically fall off of JusticeWeb. So now when I save this document and go back to our tab details case, our view I should say, not case, you'll see that it created 2 zips, Luke Skywalker Discovery. I highlight that, it automatically added in the defense attorney, and it's going to send him an email saying that he has a Discovery. Same with this Luke Skywalker's Discovery Pay. It automatically added in the defense attorney to this line item, and he's going to get an email saying that he has Discovery. Let me show you an example of what a notification email will look like. You see I got this one. You have a Discovery packet. If I look at this one, here's my defendant, Luke Skywalker. Here's where you go to download that. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this so that you can see what you do next. So let's go back into JustWeb. And now that we have our discovery packets created, what we need to do is go out onto the web and grab those. So just like that email said, open up Internet Explorer, which I'm doing, and copy and paste that link into the browser. And this is the JusticeWeb portion of our eDiscovery solution. So if you'll notice, it's just a screen saying welcome to eDiscovery. It gives you steps on how to get an account. So to get an account, I'm Mace Windu. I come in here. If this is my first time, I'm going to request an account. To do this, I click on the account request, and we get a pop-up here saying, all right, what's your username? Anything with an asterisk next to it is a required field. And then you hit submit request, and it says your request has been submitted successfully. So right now, if I go to log in with those credentials I put in, I'm going to get an error saying, hey, you don't have rights to this yet, maybe your account's not activated. So now you have to go back into JustWeb to manage this. So to do this, we come down here underneath Administration Tools and we click on our JusticeWeb. Now this kind of looks like system administration with just a few different changes. We have a request queue now, a user account management, configuration, fee configuration, and an audit log. To manage your requests that you get from defense attorneys coming in, you can go to this request queue and you'll see that I have a Mace Windu. I have to scroll over to the right a little bit and look at this payload, but an account request is the one that I'm looking for. So the payload, if I come over here, this is just a bunch of jargon. You can click on this right here. It will show you who's requesting this. So username of Mace Windu, he's with the New Dawn Defenders. Then I can close this. And what I have to do is link this account to a name record. So right here where it says name, I'm going to do a search for Mace Windu and see if he's in my system. So he is. He has a code, so I know that he's in my application parameter. He's definitely associated with an agency. I'm going to add his name in there and save. And then I'm going to come to this account request and hit accept. When I hit accept, it's going to give Mace Windu privileges to sign into JusticeWeb. So when I come back to JusticeWeb, now when I try my username and password, so now when I went and typed in my username and password, it gives me a list of all the cases that I'm associated with inside of my database, inside of the prosecutor's database. So I see that I'm involved with this case and this case and this case, but down here under downloads, here's those 2 discovery packets that I've made. As you notice, the one that I didn't put a discovery type in for is free, and the one that I did put a fine in for, I have to pay $2 for that. So to download these, I'm just going to click here. It's going to say, hey, what do you want to do? I'm going to save these. And now it says, hey, this has been downloaded for you. And then I can come down here to this $2 one and you'll see how different it is. So this one, I have to pay $2, but then I also have a tax of 6 cents and a discovery fee of 10 cents. So I'm not actually able to pay and submit this because I don't have a payment portal, but if I were to hit this pay and submit and everything was set up correctly, I would go to a payment portal. It would ask me for my credit card information and all that kind of good stuff, and I can pay and get that discovery packet. So I just hit back here, and now I'm back to my home screen. If I want to, I can click on these cases and come back in here. And now let's go back into JustWeb and see what this did for me. So I'm going to go back to my JusticeWeb System Administration. And when I click on User Account Management, you'll see that Mace Windu's name is in there. I can say if his password's expired. I can see the last time they logged on. And I see that he's active. So you're going to have a list of everybody who's able to get into JusticeWeb. You can see the last time they logged in. And I'm just going to go back a screen. And I'm going to come to this prosecutor case, the one that we set this up for, and refresh my screen. And now you'll notice when I highlight this, I have some notes down here in Luke Skywalker's discovery. It says, hey, the download started at this time on March 1st at 10:17 a.m. and it was a successful download ending at the same time. So this says that Mace Windu went on there, he started downloading, and the download was successful. So if I do the same thing for Luke Skywalker's Discovery Pay, you notice we don't get that because nothing happened on that Discovery packet. I wasn't able to even start the download because I wasn't able to pay for it. But if we go to Discovery Packets and I look at these different files under authorized names, I don't have anything in here. So it shows that Luke Skywalker came in here or not Luke Skywalker, I'm sorry, Mace Windu came in here and he downloaded this one. But on this Pay Discovery, it doesn't show anything. If it were, though, Mace Windu's name would be in here. It would show the price that he paid and that he downloaded that Discovery packet. So right now in this webinar, we've created Discovery packets. We've sent an email to the defense attorney saying that he has a Discovery packet available to download. He's went in and he's requested an account name. He's downloaded a Discovery packet. And we've also created a Discovery packet that he would have to pay for. Now let's go and take a look at some of the reports that we have for our Discovery packets. This is just our audit log on the Discovery packet. So when I click on this, it just shows, all right, look, this is what's happened in JusticeWeb between February 1st and March 1st. It's just a nice little report. If I go to System Reports, I can run a document called Discovery Packet Details. This tells me everything there is about any Discovery packets on there. It shows what's in there, an arrest report, complaint information. It shows, if you see down here, under my Darth Vader, it says that the download was started from IP address at this time and it was successful at this time. So it just gives you a nice little overview of all the Discovery packets that you have within the month or whatever dates you put in. Then if I go to another one, we have a Discovery package usage, which would show how much money they paid, when it was downloaded, and when it was successfully downloaded. And one other report we have is if you go to the Darth Vader name record over here on the left, our case Discovery packet details, it tells you on this case exactly what's happened with all of these discoveries. So there's a few reports that we have for our Discovery packets. Let's go in and show you how you can create your fines and fees and kind of administer your JusticeWeb a little bit. So I'm in JusticeWeb System Administration. We've already looked at request queue and user account management in the audit log. If we go into configuration, this is where you actually are going to configure kind of what your JusticeWeb screen looks like. So this screen right here. As you notice, if you look over here under requests, we have add me to a case and discovery requests. And I'll show you how that discovery request works in just a second after I go over this configuration a little more. And we also have a fee configuration. So if you notice, when we were going to pay for that discovery, you'd added on tax and then 10% of whatever the fine was. That's where you set that up. So I'm just going to come into fee configuration so that I can show you on the next screen how this works. So here's my discovery fee. I just gave a percentage amount, and then I gave a tax as well of 6%, and off of the flat amount, off of that $2. You have other choices as well, percent of subtotal and percent of total. And then we also have one other master code in here called shipping and handling. So if you wanted to charge them a convenience fee or something, you could do that as well. Now we go into configuration. And you'll notice that we have 5 tabs across the top. The first one is my request types. So if I just scroll down here, I have a few different request types. Here's my account request. If I go onto the web page, you'll see this button in the upper right hand corner. If you'll notice, before we signed in, it said account request. So I'm going to sign out, and it's this button right here called account request. That's how I created that button, is by first creating this account request, and then I have to come to page configuration and configure how that's laid out, and I'll get to that in just a second. We also have an add me to a case and a discovery request. If you'll notice, the case types are non-case specific events. They show up over on the right hand side of the screen when I log in. So add me to a case and discovery request, those are those 2 buttons. And then these other two, this pay discovery is how I set up that fine. So if I scroll over to the right, I'll show you how this is set up. You can set up a default queued status, an approval event, and this is actually set up in case events with the type of other. You can also do an approval event status if you'd like. And non-collectible financial type is actually how you're going to set up your financials that you want them to pay. So I just did a JusticeWeb discovery cost in non-collectible financials in my code tables. I made the base price of $2, and then you'll see the discovery fee and the tax. So when I drop this down, all those fee configurations are going to show up in this drop down that you can use. So that's how we got the 10% and 6% when we were asking for that fine. So if you'll notice on the account request under page ordering, it says the page type is account request and the title is account request. If I click on these different ones, you're going to see different page types, and that's where I'm going to next, is the page configuration. So on the account request, you'll notice that you have 3 tabs down here, pages. I just click on the account request and you see first name, last name, and agency. If I wanted to add another field to this, I could just click on this add field here and say I wanted their address. It's really easy to add fields in. I'm just going to drag and drop address in under here, and it's going to add in my address, city, state, and zip code. So just to give you an idea of what we also have email, number, involved type. We have some case fields and miscellaneous fields as well. So now when I save this, when I go to my account request on this screen, you'll notice that now we have address down at the bottom as well. So it does update in real time, which is pretty nice. Let's go back into JustWeb, and this is how you create your pages. If I come to pages and I highlight any of these, you can see kind of what's going to pop up. So if I clicked on add me to a case on that right hand side, it's going to ask me for a case number, a single line text, which you can change, and let me show you how. If we go to field properties, it automatically went there, and I'm just going to change this title to defendant's name. So it's just that easy to switch it. Just come into here to field properties, make sure you have the right box highlighted of what you want, and then I'm going to save that as well. And to add a new page, you just click on new page and then you start from there. And if you want it to go into any of those requests, you have to come back to request type configuration and do a page ordering. So this page ordering for my discovery request is just the discovery request. If I want to see what that's going to look like when the end user clicks on that, I come into page configuration, click on discovery request, and it's going to show the date and what they want the discovery to show. So let's go and log back into our JusticeWeb, and we'll go into a couple of those things and show you how they're used. So here's the add me to a case and discovery request. If I click on this discovery request, it's going to ask for the date. I'm just going to put in today's date, and I want the police reports. Now if you wanted to, you could add in case numbers or something. I'm just going to submit the request right now so that you can see what it looks like inside JusticeWeb. So if I come back to my JusticeWeb, and it's underneath this request queue, you'll see that I have 2 discovery requests from Mace Windu. And to look at those, I just click on this payload and highlight this. This is the one for February 29th where he's requesting arrest reports, and one for March 1st where he's requesting police reports. So of course you'd want to add in case numbers, the defendant's name, all that kind of stuff. But a defense attorney can actually come in and request discovery from you guys for certain cases as long as you have it set up right. So that's how you set up your pages, and of course it's going to take time and a little bit of testing or playing around to set those up correctly. But you can see how easy it is to just drag and drop fields over and rename them. Your request statuses, I have accept, queued, and rejected. So if I go back to my request queue, you're going to see all those statuses that I set up, and that's where you set those up at: accept, queued, and rejected. And now we'll go back to configuration, and cover the other two tabs. So JusticeWeb server settings, this should all be set up when our installations architect installs JusticeWeb. If it's not, make sure you check this before testing anything out and make sure it's all set up. If you do have a payment portal, this is where you set all that information up down at the bottom here, where you give it the payment portal name, password, all that kind of information. And then notifications, if you have any notifications that you want to set up, like when their account's accepted, if you want them to get an email, you do that through this screen right here. So that's that's our e-discovery solution for you in a nutshell. We covered in this webinar how to create and download discovery packets, how you confirm payment. If you remember, we go into that authorized names. How you can deliver the discovery packets, how you see that they've downloaded those and they downloaded them successfully. Once again, you just come into here on your case view and highlight that discovery packet in the filing cabinet, and it will tell you right here. Or you can go to your reports and look at that as well. We've also went over how to generate your packet reports. There's those two in system administrations. There's your audit log in JusticeWeb system administration that you can go to. And there's also one on the case screen. I showed you how to create your pricing and billing types for discovery downloads, and that's just under fee configuration and also configuration. You have to set up what fines and fees you want for certain discovery packets. And then administering JusticeWeb accounts is where you go to grant people access to JusticeWeb. And if you know somebody needs rights, you can just come to this user account management and add them in. So if I wanted to add in Jar Jar Binks, I could give him a login and password and then just send it to him. Hey, here's your username and password, here's the URL you go to, and you can go and download this package. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this e-discovery and that you've got pretty creative with it and have some ideas that you can use for in your office. If you do have any questions on pricing, or if you want an individualized demonstration on how it might suit your needs or a discussion, please feel free to contact myself, Jessica Cottle, or Jeremy Gledhill, and we'll be able to give you that information that you need. We'll stay on the line for another 10 to 15 minutes, so if you have questions, let us know. Thanks again for your time and joining us in this webinar.